Sangye Trinley, Nam Lo Shangyo Bardo Dane Kyabzo Dage Jeso Yebe Sonam Rola Bencher Sangye Drupon Khenpo Sangye Trinley, Nam Lo Shangyo Bardo Dane Kyabzo Dage Jeso Yebe Sonam Rola Bencher Sangye Drupon Khenpo Sangye Trinley, Shangyo Bardo Dane Kyabzo Dage Jeso Yebe Sonam Rola Bencher Sangye Drupon Khenpo Sangye Dewa Dan Deve Gyodan Dembara Gyosh Dunga Dan Dunga Ge Gyodan Dravara Gyoje Dunga Mebe Dewa Tamba Dan Mendravara Gyosh Yerin Shadan Yedan Drave Danyam Shambo La Dembara Gyoreji Semje Dewa Deve Gyodan Dembara Gyoje Dunga Dan Dunga Ge Gyodan Dravara Gyoje Dunga Mebe Dewa Tamba Dan Mendravara Gyoje Yerin Shadan Yedan Drave Danyam Shambo La Dembara Gyoreji Semje Dewa Dan Deve Gyodan Dembara Gyoje Dunga Dan Dunga Ge Gyodan Dravara Gyoje Dunga Mebe Tamba Dewa Dan Mendravara Gyoje Yerin Shadan Yedan Drave Danyam Shambo Nebra Gyoreji Shanza Wada Shajiva Chanchi Shanza Wada Shiji Shaba Yawa Jusan Dake Jisaba Tamje Dake Shanshu Shango Wo Sashi Buju Yungshen Meda Zhang Shi Zhab Li Qin Yi De Genpa De Sangye Xinta Mekden Pulwa 如果南大兴来学不来修，什么南界三八大老爷写着写的，这种同门的话一句也好路过多少。
balden doje chama rigun kyabda lama karma ba kingro kwingi chungne sisi ba yuri dam nanjur ma chile kwingi chebo wangir chegyum berje jamde la nanjur teji gube de do charme tuje kyong wala de lasda lasda sangwa la any Khenpo number sumso jebedne chodo chinde thoma la thoma samdi ngado dele shigi.
Good morning, all three Khenpos and all other Dharma brothers and sisters. Trashi Dele.
La stuck any kuno chaji chodo to give us all tamne dambesh sembrisho.
Please listen the Dharma with the motivation of bodhicitta.
De la gang sembrche chugirimba jejun Milarepa sungur any lengum rebala sungsebe sungur dedu sinje.
The teaching I'm going to talk today is the song of Milarepa, the Doha or song of realization of Milarepa, which was sang to Langkum Repa, his student, and the name of the song is Distinguishing Happiness from Suffering.
Da deduk sinje ki gurde tene kasanga to deduk sinje number sumdi any shitare.
And in these teachings we have done yesterday 3 of them, the 3 discuss and distinguishing happiness from suffering. 3 of them we have done yesterday.
Delada ane kasandi any ngado deduk sinje number sumdi tene ngado chagya chimbe tene ngoje any number sum ngoje number sum da semni chigi guru ngoje be tawadang any namdo chigui rangzaldu ngoje be tawadang any nawa chigui rangwedu ngoje be tawa sum la any tempa miyeng bar sejigdu shabu komba tagumni ngoje namsum dang ngoje namsum ke tawa dang tawa de la miyang pa tsi de shabe dini number shabe komba.
So yesterday, what these three teaches us are the three pointing out instruction of Mahamudra, which are our mind itself is Dharmakaya, and our conceptual thought is the display of Dharmakaya itself, and all the appearances of the radiation of Dharmakaya itself. And having this view, profound view of Mahamudra, and to meditate one-pointedly on that view is what we have been taught yesterday by those three lines.
Oh, that's the because the tawadang gombe nyamlindi nyamlingi chudi yang dagbar susindu chobadang any susin mayin berchibe chebadang najurbani la degi dumde namyang dewadang namyang midewar girwe any payenda nimi
And also, it taught us yesterday the benefit of practicing that in a genuine way and not practicing that in a genuine way, which are called the yogi and ordinary practitioner, and also the result, which the result of genuinely practicing those profound view and meditation is always happy, and the result of not practicing them generally is always miserable. That is what we have been taught yesterday.
That during the dinning so dedu shinji shibani kebabarla dedu shinji ngayara.
So today we have 5 more, starting from the 4th to the 8th.
That dedu shinji ngadi dinning so cheba yangda na tanangi kebarshigosare.
So as I said yesterday, we are taught about the view and meditation. Today, through these 5 lines, we will be taught the conduct of the genuine conduct and the false conduct.
All the dig and chage chimbe chebadi da tawadan gombadi any cholamgi kasu kerwadela cholam chobasagira no. Then jungle or last.
So when we say conduct here, the conduct of Mahamudra is if you can carry the view and meditation of Mahamudra in your daily everyday life, and that is what we call the conduct of Mahamudra.
All the jungle little tagi rejo panglang da chibe put songra. Any tawadan gombadi rejo meba, number saudi goes yebaje, cholam la jugdi goes meba the name imba. Cholam la jugdi me, number saudi yeba in a rejo chagra, some meba. Then a number shagbe, tawadan gombadi, cholam because we kept them, rejo meba sidigas.
And Jamgon Lodro Thai said, you should not be separated from this view and meditation, whether you are in the meditation session or you are during the post-meditation. If you just practice them during the session, and if you don't practice them during the post-meditation, then that is not okay. Therefore, we should be able to practice them in your session and also during the post-meditation.
All that. Rejo panglang dawa chibe pul songre jungle tagi. Then tawadan gombadi nyamshadan chidom nila yebadan mebe renjogi kebar meba nyamshala yebe tagomgi dingsedi chedab cholam kasu kunaya kurna any cholam kapsu cholam thamjedi any cholam thamjegi negabla then migewa pang mogoba any gewatsu losu dum mogoba any cholam jesedi gewala shagres.
So Jamgon Lodro Thai said that is the best supreme conduct of carrying same view and meditation without making any separation between your session and post meditation. If you can do that, then during the post meditation also you don't have to put any effort to reject the negativities and to accumulate the virtuous action, because whatever you do naturally be the virtuous one, since you have this view and meditation even in the post meditation.
Olas, data with Chiba didn't Chiba Yakshire, so the Changular Tagi.
And Jamgoloto Thai said that is the best supreme conduct.
Or the Chidimila, they do Shinji Shibani, Kebi Bardo didn't did with Cholam di Tingosare. Tingido.
Then, and therefore, from the 4th until the 8th, Milarepa song here teaches us that kind of conduct.
Olas, things that Shibani Kebi Bardo didn't dum di diredo. Things that also decided to Tungum of the medical that any Shibani Kebi Barla, they didn't think they said Gabna decided Tansamara.
So since we have no much time, our time is very limited. I'm not going to go through an extensive explanation word by word, but somehow the concise meaning of this the five distinguishing happiness from suffering, starting from the 4th until 8th, the meaning of them is the conduct. And now I'm going to teach you in a very concise way, since we don't have enough time to go through word by word in an extensive way.
Oh, las dinda da dedu shinji shiba de sik zawe sik de lona tamje simsu shene jinnong dosu kirwe nanjur namyang de mise yingla gyalne chikar geba gewe cheba namyang do song.
So the 4th is the root word which was sang by Milarepa is the yogi who, knowing everything is mind, takes whatever appears as a friend is always happy. The practitioner who wastes this life and has regret at the time of death is always miserable.
Oh, las da de la gongi dine tawa dan gombe tengse yingingi naljur badi dine nawa tamje simsu shigre songre.
So here, so here, Milarepa said that those yogi who have the confidence of that view and meditation will understand all the appearances as a mind, everything as a mind.
dine nawa sangye kare nangnayang tamje any simsu sheba inzang dine jinnong dosu kir tugre songre kare nangse samadi namgyung anso dine nangse la sangye nisu che dela changdang nigi wangdo to any jeba gewa da jeba mi gewa shada chegwara da tamje simsu shebe nanjurba di nawa tamje any la sangye nisu tempera mashimba inzang dine tamje
Usually, as ordinary being, as for example ourselves, we have many distinguished in our appearance. Some we take good appearance, some we take bad appearance, and because of that, we will have the attachment, anger, and so forth. Therefore, whatever we do, then everything become unvirtue, unwholesome one. But those who have this kind of confidence in view and meditation of Mahamudra, then whatever appearance doesn't affect them, and then they actually, because they understood everything is mind, nothing but mind, therefore whatever appearance will be something supportive, which is called friend. That's why it says, text whatever appears as friend is always happy.
data with the natural body, naming the word is the ne gawan ne yang to sudan to na yang ne dang ki dewa dang kibo dedu kare jung na yang chorwa dang gubala so ba kande jung na yang dene di thamje nyamneng gi dose sharwa indang dene semla shiwadan dewa bashik ki kindu gyurgure songse.
So this kind of yogi, it doesn't matter wherever he or she goes, it doesn't matter where she or he lives, and it doesn't matter with whom he or she talk or had contact, anything, everything become a friend for his practice. And therefore, his or her mind always be peaceful and joyful and full of happiness.
Olas, tinda dene tsedela duida negab kundu dewa inza, dene di negab su ane cholam tamje dewa gewala girwa indi, gewa chima yang, ane dewa bashik, chima pinche yang dewa bashik yung gre sangre. Tarsugla yang.
And this kind of yogi, since that's how he or she can be happy in this life, and then whatever he or she does is according with the Dharma and according with the virtuous action. Therefore, starting from the next life, also he or she always be happy.
Digi dokchodi mitse yangla kyalne chikar gyoba gyewe choba namyangdo sangre.
And then the opposite of that, Milarepa said, the practitioner who wastes this life and has regret at the time of death is always miserable.
Digi ni deduk shenje ngabadi lona tokse khongdu chini neru rangsa simbe namjur namyangde deba khongdu chugni dungdung shamsham jebe choba namyangdo sangre.
And now I'm going to move to the fifth, the distinguishing happiness from suffering, and I'm going to read the root text. The yogi who has mastered realization fully and seizes his own place in the abiding nature is always happy. The practitioner who indulges in desire and seeks out attention is always miserable.
Hola. Da dela dene cheba da naljurbe kebardi tokse khungdu shine naljurba 공기 dene tawadang komba number dagba la ani number dagbe tingse di cholam gi kaso yang kurtu kenge naljurba di dene dela nyamong dang yishi nyamongda 이시 아니 냠바니도 시밤 nyamong도 뭐 예시스 시바 시베 아니 독세 콩도 집에 날저바디 독세 콩도 슈트 그래 데데베 날저바디 되니 오 그래서 아니 냠바 샤베 내가 쫄람기 내가 탐제라 되니 내루기 랑신레 여러와 요마레 디데 넘버 탐제도 내루 응랑라 내기래 송제.
So when this line says, the yogi who has mastered realization fully and seizes his own place in the abiding nature is always happy, is that those yogi or yoginis who has the profound view and meditation that was described or that was taught earlier, and also who can carry them in their conduct. And that kind of yogi or yogini, actually, when it says master realization fully means, then all the kleshas, they are able to transform into wisdom or primordial wisdom or jnana. And therefore, and then the second line, when it says seizes his own place in the abiding nature, means therefore, no matter whatever they are doing, whether during the session or during the post-meditation, they are actually never moving from the abiding nature, which is the ultimate truth. That's why, and they are always happy.
Hola. 디에디가서다 제접 쫄럼기 가서 드네 녀몽기에게 낀 율긴 망보다 책이라 디딘 난솔라드네 녀몽기에게 율긴된 책이 녀몽 랑서밖에 되더라 이내 따검기 등세된 데 나절바디 아니 녀몽기에 율긴된 책이 가서 되니 녀몽 녀몽께 여기 있는 트랩에 가서 되니 녀몽 남긴 탐을 발은 녀몽 끼야디 되니 끼야기 탑라더니 율긴 될 때는 희시 설거리에 성사.
So both to us who are ordinary people and also to the yogi or yoginis, we can encounter many unconducive conditions which will stir up our kleshas. And then for us, when we encounter or face this kind of object, then it causes us to arise the klesha in our mind. But for those yogi and yoginis who has this kind of profound practice of the view and Mahamudra, actually this kind of unconducive condition would be the conducive condition for them to increase their primordial wisdom.
녀몽 되니 깨베 왕도 전에 녀몽 되기 생겨 말에 녀몽 뒤 해시도 돌로 그래서.
녀몽도 가성성을 단다데.
다시다 날주로바디 제톱절람로 소디 가서 녀몽께 율겐단 책이라.
라레라.
녀몽께 율겐단 책이 가서 깨지 당벌은 녀몽께는 양 깨지 니발은 녀몽 뒤 해시도 돌로 그래. 녀몽 되기 생겨 말에.
나서 다 거선 나서. So this kind of yogi and yoginis who have this kind of profound view on meditation, during those post-meditation, it is very possible for them to encounter those unconducive conditions which will make arise the klesha in mind. So, and then even at the first moment, it is possible for them also to give rise to kleshas, but somehow this klesha will not become some bondage, which means it doesn't bind you in samsara, because to the second moment, then it will be just liberated in the nature of wisdom.
las. Tiang ngaso dogon tangba gere gi sungro. 녀몽 해시서 돌와디 애니 빼나 근데서는 캬그럼 추르 쇼하나 시리에 손에 캬바디 뭐 추르아고 이네 당레기 왕기 캬바에 넘버 나와라 이네들이 돼 봐서나 캬그럼디 추르 쇼도 그래 디나시디 녀몽 그런 게 뭐 예시래 디다 마시왕이 녀몽 차래 뭐시나 예시라 디인다들이 따공기 등세 용이 강사들라 나저바디 녀몽 깨네양 깨지니 발라 녀몽디 시스 돌도 그래 빼나 왜 밥도 겨울은 추르 쇼하는 시래 손에
And an example how it is possible, and this is taught by Drupon lineage teacher Sangye Trinley. He said the example is just like the ice melts into water, because the very nature of ice is actually water, but somehow because of some extreme cool condition, it becomes ice. But when it faces little heat, then it just melts back to its the nature, which is the water, then nothing. Just like that, the very nature of our klesha is nothing but wisdom. Therefore, when you have this conducive condition, which are the right view and right meditation, then all our klesha is transformed into primordial wisdom.
나서라 나서 라오 아니 년수 로도스더라
캐디 캠브라데 지갑성사리
어데
송디
끼고데
셰제기 민도다
아니 난서디 로도스더라
아네 라서 따데 라 드네 송나 릭사르라
끼고다
캠베 거기도
라스 됐으나
내가 당보지 라이브하고 로송도서 야 거기 가래선
나서
된거라. So we can still get teaching from Drupon Khenpo Lodro, but we cannot see him because now he is out of electricity. This is India, so he just the electricity that went off. So, but luckily he has battery in his laptop, so we can still going on and he's teaching. Last one.
라서 근데 네 독서디 대바 콩도 중에 능동 신심 제베 체바 능연도 디거스다 체바스디 디거스디니 나랑서 딱 나서 착신게더니 따금 쯤 아니 냠낸 중에 이네양 Nyamlin Jingi in a young, then it's fishing the Majing Jira. Take us a chebadi de la Gosare. The day chebadi, the name of the Deba Kong the Chumni, Dundung Shemsham Jeba Sore. Then it chebadi Karijigilana, talks to Konduchin, the Nelu Ransas in the Young Tugmare. The end. Take us to that Keper the Dira. Then Tagum Chusum Gi Nyamlin Jene and then the Nyamlin the draw Mado setting us on Namgin that will she Shishikasu. Chase draw Madodi, then it chase draw Madodi, low chase draw Madol Raleigh Sonra. Or then low chase Madonna, Che Jene, chase Drogma Resonra. The Lazugasu Namgi Shayaba. And in Mundo di Gila Magina, Mushi and Yamni Jene and the Mushi Yamni Yamni and Chagmara. The Lazu did it, Tanangla, Mother Chagashimbe, the Shine Gom Ladon Gom Jene, Munigi, the Shine Ladon in Yamni Chagmara, Pena Nanzo Chagchen and Ladini, Shinlo Gom Gambasumdo. That Shinlo di Yapuja Magina, the Chagchen Shine Mushi Yamni, Mushi Yamni Yanda Chagmara, Gom Yanda Chagmara. Did you go to that? Dig of the Cheba said, the Chebadi. She's you go, she's the woman.
Tango Tifa Jujagala, Gonda, Gondala, not Mijib Zungi Torage and Fair was a Mambala. That's a good thing. And then the opposite of that, Milarepa said, the practitioner who indulges in desire and seeks out attention is always miserable. So what it here, when Milarepa said this, what he means is those people who claim themselves to be Mahamudra practitioner and try to do Mahamudra practitioner, but not really doing genuinely and without any confidence in the view and meditation that was taught earlier. And those are what I think Milarepa meant that. For example, Gampopa said in the four Dharma of Gampopa, when he says, when you practice Dharma, if Dharma becomes Dharma or not, it depends on if your mind is following the Dharma or not. If your mind is really following the Dharma, then your Dharma practice will be the real Dharma, like that. And then what it means is, again, if you don't have the realization or the experiences of the preliminary practice, which we call Ngondo, then no matter how hard you claim or you try to practice the actual Mahamudra practice, there's no way that we can gain any realization. For example, in our Mahamudra lineage, Tapokagi lineage, it says the revulsion is the feat of meditation as it is taught. That's why without having a genuine sense of renunciation in your mind, and there is no way that we can become a good, a genuine Mahamudra practitioner with that profound view and meditation.
All of the young Lama Gomato, Kadambe Lama Sumudoa, Penang, Sama Diba, Che Sabda Misap said, Che the Chess Dromedola Allegre, Penading as a Sama Diba di Sabore Mares Kejetina, then Narangi Gula, Midaba Gula Kena, Sama Diba di Midaba Gula Magina, Sama Divine and Samo Mares. Midaba Gula Kena, Camdo Sixum the and Samores.
So the lineage guru of the past guru of the Kadamba lineage said whether the Dharma practice, Dharma is profound or not, is how you practice. For example, if you practice them profoundly, then even just taking refuge is very profound. And if you don't profound them, if you don't practice them profoundly, then even the Guha Samaja is not profound. For example, by practicing any Dharma, if you have full realization of impermanence, and if you are convinced with the idea of impermanence, then just saying the refuge prayer is also very profound. If you have you are not convinced with this idea of impermanence, then even you are practicing Guhya Samaja, that is not profound. That is not profound.
Olas. Tini irikosu da digasu chebasayadi jidimilarebe naljurbadan chebasaya chebadi garlana miraba gyula magi shinlo gomgi kangba me tini irikosu dadung yang tini ngaso tambishula chage chimbola twebadan sambadan gomba chena di twesum gonsum yangdaba dogu mare sore. Tende madodi kosu tende chebadi eni gari jigire ilana cholam kosu teba khongdu chuk dung sham jigire sore. Tini
So,
Kurangi tini miyu tsuwa di karlana, tini tse digi tini dewa dhubya di miyu tsuwa rawa, di chidu tini tam nyanda di nyeba kurdi dhubya di dhubja tsuwa rawa, tini tini ki dhubha ham shencha di, ini nyamlingi tilje, tela tene tini dungdung se di kosu semgi thurwa rawa, tini dhuyen dang nyeba kurdi dhusala tini semgi chakshin shukchimbo, kibe sonangi namgyur rawa di dungdung se di kosu, semgi sonang, 그래서 대연당 대연 농주 년도 대연 년도 땀 년다 되서더니 생기 신차 하장 숙정보 계기래 성 숙진 괜찮으면 계기래 인상 둥둥 제기래 해서 생기 선랑시고 하래.
so Milarepa here means those Mahamudra practitioner who doesn't have who has not been convinced with the meditation on impermanence first, and who doesn't have the feat of revulsion or renunciation. Still, if we are trying to study Mahamudra, contemplate on it, and meditation, then it doesn't become real practitioner. Then we become someone who is looking for this life only. And then we are very much attached to our gain, our fame, and then offering and so forth. And this kind of practitioner, what he's mean here, will always have miserable, because dung dung in Tibetan, the word is the aspect of feeling. Always who is very excited or very looking for something, gaining or longing for this life only, and this kind of, and then why it is happening is because this kind of the practitioner doesn't have the feat of renunciation or revulsion, and also has not been convinced with the meditation on impermanent, and that this is what he meant here.
Ola shamsham je se de kosu semgi turnangla da nyendo dang dyen la shincha dungdung wa kena di lü da nga gi namgyul la thindi kosu di dubye gi bedul jigira tam nyenda dubye da ni bu kurdi dubye gi bedul jigira tila shamsham je sen lunga gi namgyul shigwa sare.
So Tibetan word first is dungdung and second is shamsham, which is translated in English indulges in desire and seek out attention. So dongdong is the feeling of being attached to your loved one, and then attached to the what we call the 5 qualities of desire realm and so forth. Then when you have this desire feeling, strong sense of feeling in your mind, then naturally it will translate it into your action of bodies and speech, and that is what the next the next word in Tibetan shamsham means. That describe the activity of speech and the body of those kind of practitioners.
Ola torduna da any fedele simba model na teni chage chimbi tagumgi nyamlendi nyumungi nyambur mado je nyumungi dofu dogu de sore.
So anyway, in short, if you are not free from attachment to this life, if you are still being attached to this life, then no matter whatever study and practice you do on Mahamudra, it will not become antidote to kleshas, but somehow it will become something that increases your kleshas.
Teni jiri kaso teni chwe digi digwa ma chwe digi teni gyawa ma dhubo je digwa dhugre di inza teni kerang nyumongi yobo cha chwe nyumongi lakcha cha teni digwa dhugre gyawa chomgre esung.
So for this kind of practitioner, then the Dharma becomes something not accumulated merit, but something that accumulating negativities. And you become slave of your klesha, and the dharma become your weapons.
드네 이거서 드네 개와 좀 되거라.
Then, of course, when you become you yourself become slave of klesha, and the dharma you practicing become weapons, then it will destroy all the virtues, and then it will accumulate non-virtues.
드네게 쳐바디 드네 남양도 없습니다.
So this kind of practitioner is always miserable. So even in this life, this kind of practitioner will always go through suffering and miserable situation. And of course, in the next life, also same thing, he or she will go through lots of, as a result of that, and he or she will go through more miserable and suffering in the next life too.
아니 식로나 세마랑서 존에 냠냠 준세메베 날저런 남양데 아니 식실 당네 semla 토체메베 제바 남양도 송.
And then I'm going to move the next one, which is the sixth distinguishing happiness from suffering. The root text says, the yogi for whom characteristics are liberated in their own place and who has continuous experience is always happy. The practitioner who, following after words and terms, has no resolve about mind is always miserable.
다 들려야되니 지금에 세마랑서 존네 냠냠 준세메바 준세메베 최반 남양데 날저바다 최바디 당나서 네가 날저바다 최바디 네가 되네 아니 네가 기다 자기 심에 따와 공부 줘발라 되네 최선 공성 지고 아래 이내 제당대 가려나 최바디 카치데스 실고 아래 날저바디 칸 낭도 되네 최선 공성 지고 아래 이 개발대 가와 돌라나 찍디 세들의 심비 왕도 두고 아래 이 인자들이 창신기 따금 주승기 냠는지 같이 돼서 두고라 날저 바디더니 세들라 미다바 귤라게 세들라 심발로디 애니 따금 주승기 냠는지 칸 냉대서 두고래 딘장 녀몽기 녀버 두고래 좀제디 같이 돼서 저는 녀몽기 조스 두고래 칸 냉대서 저는 녀몽기 녀버 두고래 디제단 최바당 애니 날저 바니기 냠술 렌자 찍바에 렌술 카가 차로 찍 렌당 너르송을 씩 냠술 렌당 애니 양다바 중으로 냠술 렌자도 찍어라 이 켜버 찍어서.
So here again, Sam, the main point here is the difference between yogi and general practitioner. Even though both of them are practicing Mahamudra, but somehow the way how they do is different. Because the general practitioner usually practice outwardly, having not convinced with the idea of impermanence and have no fear of the revolution or renunciation. Therefore, whatever he practice, even it is a practice of Mahamudra, it become outward, practice outwardly, which means he's looking for this, he or she is looking for this life only. Therefore, whatever he practices or she practices will be the friend or support of his or her own klesha. But even the Dharma is same, and the yogi is who has this conviction of impermanence idea and who has the pure genuine sense of renunciation practice inwardly, which means he doesn't care for this life, and then whatever he practice, the practice become the antidote of the kleshas, and this is the even they are practicing same thing, but the way how they practice different. Therefore, there's a big difference between yogi and the general practitioner.
Oh, that's things that the 냠술 렌자 찍고 있네요. nyamsu lensul di deni tuldang tumbada mitimbe kebar ni yebala deni dumre diyang yangda banda loba ni yongore.
So even though the dharma which they practice is same, but the way how they practice different, therefore one become unmistaken practice and one become mistaken practice. And then of course the result is accordingly, there's a right result and the wrong result.
Olaso. Tiende deni naljurpe chagia chembe tagum chusumdi eni kha nangdo teni nyamsu lende nyumongi nyambur doa chigi yeba inzang teni dumre gari yungore sana sema rangsar dol nyamnyong dunche meba yungore esngala.
And then since the yogi or yoginis practice inwardly, and all his or her practice become antidote to the kleshas. Therefore, characteristics are liberated in their own place.
Olaso. Tiende deni naljurpadi ta eni cheba tanangdi di dochore deni nyamsu lenja di chagia chembe tagum chusum inayang nyamsu lendangdi kha chitesu shorne nyamne chigi yeba 제당 놀아 인디 준대양 지지로가 연구를 거의 연구라나 산이 특실 장네 심라 탁쳐 매봐 산이 기제스 장네 되니 또 그래 뒤에 되니 심라 된다면 내룩라 타셔뱅이 시게 심 등능이 시게 요 말이야.
So the a superficial practitioner or the Hippocratic practitioner practices outwardly, therefore he or she has no end following the words after words, terms after words, and he or she will never get any certainty about her or his mind, and then he or she doesn't get any confidence or certainty in the ultimate truth, ultimate truth, ultimate reality. Therefore, he or she always be miserable.
다 내도 신지 듬바디 아니 로나 직된 자와 당내 체진사대 대외 날줄 남양데 대풀 두소 제네 비메 인든 경우 쉐바 남양도.
And now I'm going to read the seventh line of distinguishing happiness from suffering, which says, the yogi who abandons worldly deeds and is free of objectives and reference point is always happy. The practitioner who struggles to collect provisions and works to protect his wife and family is always miserable.
Hola. 다 들어야 되니 집어 되기다 집어래 애니 최바다 날줄 봐서야지 니 애니 냠슬렌자 차게 집에 따금 쩌숨 이내양 애니 렌슬디 같이 되던 능대수 따니 냠슬 렌슬 개발을 해볼 때니 날줄 봐 칸능대수 칸능도 되는 냠는 지그래 애니 최바 따능디 같이 되기 전에네 냠는 지그래 근데 인도 가서 같이 되는 능대서나 다 나도 남긴 숨도 알라마서 되는 가서 최선 공수 제대로 가서 거리적으로서 멜롱다운 하신 거 그래서 미실 거만 하시잖아 되네 되게 말했어 미실 거나 치료로 통으로 멜롱다는 나랑 남기도 통으로 되네 따금 차진게 따금 죄송도 칸 낭도 돼서 되네 녀몽디 방저성 되네 남기 심라 아니 따에게 멜롱나시 따나 되네 따금 죄송디 칸 낭도 돼 봤어야 들어 카 칠에 대해서 그것은 나서 세디 신배 왕도도 되네 나서 따금 죄송 세디 땀년다 두야당 아니 땀년다 두야당 네바 그디 두야게 되네 락차 적주다고 되네 베제당 되네 따금 죄송 같이 돼서 쉬어라 돌디나다 같이 된 낭대서야지 세디를 신바 달마들 개발했습니다.
So this is again same as the above one, the line. even though both of them, which we call yogi and practitioner, practices the Mahamudra view, meditation, and conduct, the difference is that one is practice directed inwardly or inwards, which means ka nangte in Tibetan, that is translated directed inwards, and then ka chide means directed outwards, which means inward means try to work inside our mind, try to work with our klesha and mind, and then directed outward or means try to get the worldly things such as fame, wealth, and then praise and so forth. And that is the difference here. And then nice example that was given by the gurus of the past is when we say our practice should be directed inwardly, means just looking like a mirror. If you look in the mirror, then you will see yourself. Then you know how you look. That is the example of practicing directed inwardly. And then when you say practicing directed outwardly, means you have a glass, a powerful glass, so you can see the outer object more clearly than your usual eye. So this, but anyway, what makes it different is the practitioner, the Dharma practitioner, who has genuine sense of renunciation and revulsion, and that could be yogi, and who doesn't have this foundation, important foundation of renunciation or revulsion, is someone who is directed outward.
Hola. 인자들이 나도 날줄바디 차게 심에 따금 조금 상막한 낭도 때문에 냠는 거래서 들어가서 되니 최 탐지기 거바디 최근 거바 치드디 송라 로정도는 막아서 최 탐지기 거바디 찍마다 요 말이 가서는 샘들려야 돼요 송래 날줄바기 되니 이 통거라.
So when we say the yogi practices directed inward, as the Kadamba master says in the 7-point mind training, all the purpose of the only purpose of all dharma is included in one, and that is to tame our mind.
Hola. 뒤에들 최근기 거바 찍이 먹임선 가르서는 레렌 탐지 찍을 다 송라. 나랑서 동안당 깡갈다 가지 중앙 상막이 싸와디 찍을 두 그래 디가르라나. 되니 심 당진들에스 심기견 당진들에스. 뒤에들은 심들세니 녀몽들에들에스.
So when we said taming our mind means again taming the kleshas, because all the faults, all the shortcomings are because of self-thinking or self-fixation, and that self-fixation is because of the klesha. Therefore, to tame klesha is what it means when we say to tame our mind. Therefore, if we can't, the only purpose of all dharma is to tame our mind, because we want to be free from all those shortcomings that is caused by our self-thinking.
Hola, 뒤에다더니 레렌 탐지 찍라 투게 받으시. 아니, 뒤에 최 탐지 그거 뒤 들려 찍고 임바를 시네. 되니 따금 조금 상마 아니 그거 뒤 치도 미그네 냥슬랭겐들라 나저바 라고서라.
So understanding that all shortcomings come from one, which is only one thing, which is self-thinking, and then also understanding if we can tame our klesha and mind, then all purpose, the purpose of all dharma is accomplished, and focusing on that, and if you practice the Mahamudra view, meditation, and conduct, and that is what we call the yogi.
근데 날들바디 근데 되니 그래 용거리라면 직진 자와 땅내 체진 사제 잡아지 용거리에 소리다.
So this kind of yogi, then it will become someone which Milarepa says, the yogi who abandons worldly deeds and free of objectives and reference points.
Hola, 뒤에더니 날들바 되기 창신게 따금 조금 냠는 집에 좀 되더라. 되니 체진 세대 탐제 달 직딩이 자와 탐제 당그래 성질 가서 지든 저와 땅서나 나 땅술도 니여라 지든이 저와 넘바도 제가 땅에당 지든이 저의 넘바 연어양 지든이 타물기 저와디 겨울랍친데 그래 여러 베나텔로베 틸동아당 에니 똑제베드니 싱가모아디 드니 파다디 가서 타물기 저와라 된라드니 텔로바당 똑제바니 싱가모아당 틸동네 두바타브라 디 날줄이 냠는 랍첨부 차여라 어디 지든 저와 땅스디 넘바 땅야 말이디 뭐 땅으로
So again, one important thing we need to understand here is when we say who abandons worldly deeds, there's two kinds of worldly deeds, the aspect of worldly deeds and the essence of worldly deed. So it is important for us to understand that we should abandon the essence of worldly deed. For example, Tilopa and another Mahasiddhi Toksepa. Tilopa was bounding sesame seed, which looks like a worldly deed. From the outer point of view, that's what we said, the aspect of worldly deed. But somehow, relying on that, he actually realized the Mahamudra. And same way, the Toksepa was plowing field all the time, just like a farmer. So, which looks like a worldly deed, the aspect of worldly deed, but somehow the essence of what they are doing are not worldly deed, the profound Dharma practice. And that's how we also should understood that when we say abandon worldly deeds means we should abandon the essence of the worldly deed. But somehow if it looks like a worldly deed, if it is practiced, then that's okay.
Olas, tini kasu ta dirwe naljuru badi ini di namyang dewa yung res da sedilan dewa chimayang dewa nambakundu dewa res.
So this kind of yogi who abandons worldly deeds and is free of objectives and reference point is always happy, which means happy in this life and happy in the next life too. Everywhere he or she is happy.
Di dokcho dini chebatanan 차게 준비 따금 쯤 같이 돼서 제네들이 냠는 중인데 되는 준비 그래 용을 하면 제불 두서 제네 비면 있는 경고를 해서 그러다.
And then the opposite of that, the opposite Mahamudra practitioner of that is the one who practices Mahamudra but directed outward, not inward. So then Milarepa says those kind of practitioner will become someone like he's saying here, the practitioner who struggles to collect provisions and works to protect his wife and family.
Olas, 근데 최바디들은 남양도 그래. 세딜라양 아니 내당 가리질라 다 엠발레 되네레 동발레 되네레 어디에드니 내당 저러와던 그바 대화당 동al 가리중나레 아니 조보스단 조나레 어디니 남바군도 동al 바시 용그레 아니 겨와지마양 동al 바시 용그레 예선다.
And this kind of practitioner is always miserable no matter where he lives, whether he lives in a solitude or whether he lives in the cities or in the villages or with family or alone, whatever. And also no matter what kind of life he's leading, happy life or a suffering life, but he is actually miserable. And then also in the next life, he will be miserable too.
근데 다 디룩신지 개발이 아니 자외스로나 신반나네 로네 탐지 기머도 왜 날도 남양데 인외 남도 슝네 류가 된도 걸왜 최바 남양도
And then now I'm going to read the eighth line of the distinguishing happiness from suffering. The yogi who has revulsion from within and realizes everything is an illusion is always happy. The practitioner who takes the path of distraction and binds his body and speech is servitude his body and speech in servitude is always miserable.
Olas, tinda dela naljur badang chebe kebar sungre. Tene naljur badang chebe kebar da dagi sebanaji. Niga nyamsulenja chage chebe nyamnen jege enayang. 차게 집에 따와도 공부 줘봐라 냠는 중이야. any lentul norwa, the manorwa cabaret indi, any Najurba Shavas, Cabernisha, the Najurba Kandijigre Lanadini, Tagum Jusum Kanangdi, Nandu Tene, Yamnijigure, Tagishavanasi, or Gimson Delatene, Tumde Kari Yungurana, Simba Nanelo, Tamji Gimartawaji Yungre.
So these two lines, again, as I said earlier, teaches us the difference between the yogi and practitioner. Even though both of them are practicing Mahamudra, the view, meditation, and contact of Mahamudra, somehow the way how they practice is different. Therefore, they will have the different result. And then the one who we call yogi is practicing Mahamudra, view, meditation, and contact inwardly or directed inward. And then, therefore, then he has the revolution from within and realizes everything is in illusion.
All did with Najurbatilla, the Digi, Yamni Digi Tunde Kari Yungulana, Namyang de Chedilla, Chechima, Nabatum Deva Bashing.
And then the result of that kind of yogi is, he says, always happy, which means happy for whole life in this life and as well as happy in the next life.
All the doso any Tagum Chachingi, Tagum Jusum, Yamni Jingi, Chevatana, Deni, Yamnin Jitul, the Kachite Sone, Yamni Jesona, Deni, Yumungi, Nimbo Matoje, Yamnin, Yumungi, Lakcha Chagore, or Tende Sasana, Kansa di Kari Yungulam, Yumi Lam the show to Gre, Namingi Lamla show to Gre. The Judi Namingi on the Donatini, Louis Dan Nadi, Teni Rangi Tipa to Gagini, Yobola Kulgre.
And then opposite of that is again the Mahamudra practitioner who practices directed outwards. Then for those practitioners, all the practice of Mahamudra become weapons of their klesha to support their klesha. And therefore, and then it says, the practitioner who takes the path of distraction, and then he will be always in distraction, and his body and his speech in servitude means his body and his speech become servant of his klesha.
All us. Or today, because of the Tindi Chibadi, the Digi Dumbrella Karayungri Lamnadini, Louis Hule de Disayomare, Louis Missicula de la Savage and Diego Karajan, Numong Yobora, Dini, Numong Yobu, Telatasa, Genetini, Louis, the religion at the Adam, then they were on Lupogin at the Aramare. Then is same line, then is Semtel Dang, Rewadan, Tobadan, Semtel Dan, Tindigi, Subne, Sem Kibojin at the Aramare.
And as a result of that kind of practice, then Milarepa said, you will never be physically relaxed because your body and speech already become servant of your klesha, and your klesha will always have something for you to do. And then again, for your mind will never be free of hope and fear, and that will produce more anxiety and so forth. Therefore, physically and mentally, you will be never relaxed.
All us. Telatine, Kajur Pilgimare, the Maple Galadin, Tiba Pilgre, the Indi, then Sedilayang, Dungal Bashik, Chima Penchalayang, Dungal Bashik.
And therefore, whatever practice you do will not support your virtue. Instead, it will increase your non-virtues. And as a result of that, and you will go through lots of difficulties in this life. And of course, in the next life, beginning from the next life, for many future lives, you will have lots of difficulties and suffering and miserable situation.
All us. Tiba, they do Shinji. Any Shibani Kebabadu, did you send Nadwa? Take it in Juba Tingo.
So until here, from the fourth and then until the end, the five of them primarily teaches us the conduct of distinguishing happiness from suffering.
올라서 네 제수들이 대둑 신제 구바더라도
Also, then
대둑
after that we have the ninth line.
다 대둑 신제 구바되기 가르친 거라는 따금 쯤을 되니 살람 줬을 때기다.
And then the ninth teaches us based on the view meditation and the conduct how we traverse or walk on the path.
올라서 다 되기 되니 날저바디 차게 침배 따금 쯤 칸 남도 때네 냠슬링킹기 날저바디 아니 가르치 그래라나 준비기 따라 신그래 성그래
The sasikdi kiki denga songma songla.
라
Gubadi
라
sasikdi. Gubadi
알레
sasikdi.
월고다 선생님들 그래도 신제 구바디 선생님들 준비 따라 신네 탈베 사람 제베 나저 남양데 레레 로드 신네 프로게 띵도 제베 쳐바 남양도
And the root text, the real Dohas of Milarepa for this ninth is Milarepa says, the yogi who riding the horse of diligence towards the path of liberation is always happy. The practitioner who enters the shackles of laziness, the foundation stone of samsara, is always miserable.
라서 딜라다 가르송돌라나 아니 날저르바당 쉐바따낭 니디 이네 니가 냠슬렌자 샤게 침베 따와던 건버쩌바 냠네 지고래 이네 냠슬렌슬 찍디 날저르바게 칸낭데 지네 냠네 난거래 쉐바따낭게 카치데 지네 냠네 지고래 딘데 지디 거서더니 디기 둠데디 거래 용거라나 날저르바디 아니 순디 게고래 순디기 아니 날저르바라 날저르바게 되니 순디 날저르베 gyula 되니 순디 게고래 아니 쳐봤다는 gyula 레로 게고래
So what this line teaches is again between the yogi and superficial practitioner, and then even they're practicing same thing, which are the Mahamudra view, meditation and conduct, but somehow, as I said earlier, the yogi practice directed inward and the superficial practitioner practice directed outward. Therefore, the yogi will always have diligence in his mind, but for the superficial practitioner is under the power of laziness.
라서 디가서다 준비 세디 거서들이 가서 남긴 준비 세디 거서 가서 배들 제야 될라 준비라고라 배들 지불라.
So the definition of diligence here is usually when we say diligence, then when we put effort in something, that is what we call the diligence.
이나양들이 갑딜라 배들 제와 쌈데되니 준비 인사 말에 그래서는 배들다 쳐봤다는 되게 지그래 날저바게 지그래 쳐봤다는 되게 양들이 자기 집에 따금 줬으나 배들 축치고 지그래.
But here, just merely putting effort doesn't really mean diligence, because both the yogi and the superficial practitioner put lots of effort in. Even the superficial practitioner puts a lot of effort in the view, meditation, and contact of Mahamudra. Therefore, merely putting effort in something is what it means. It's not what it means diligence here.
라서 네가서들이 준비디 거래라나 소디 개세 시월하게 증강 개라 또 성으로 준비 거래라는 개와라 또아지 준비를 했습니다.
So the definition of diligence here is, as the Bodhisattva Shantideva said, to take delight in virtue is diligence. So he means if you have delightful mind to do something virtuous action, and that is what the diligence mean here.
라서 띵다다 개세 시월하게 또아지 준비를 했습니다. 개와라 또아지 준비를 했습니다.
So Shantideva, the Bodhisattva Shantideva doesn't say just to be joyful is not diligence. What he says is being joyful to a virtue is diligence.
네 빼면서 내가 좀 보여서라.
I
빼로
think there is
차시는
a very important point here.
빼로 차시는 것도 다 쳐봤다는 뒤 따금 주숨라 또아여라. 또하면은 그 배들 지금 알아. 또아이
because even the superficial practitioner has joy of studying Mahamudra, view, meditation, and contact. If he or she doesn't have joy or interest, then he or she wouldn't do that.
라스 디인다들이 쳐봐 날들 바양 자기 집에 따금 주숨라 또아여래. 애니 쳐봤다는 뒤양 날들 자기 집에 따금 주숨라 또아여래. 디지는 얘가 배들 지고 알아. 배들 좀 돌같이 뭐 연구에 유디 또아더라. 이날 또아 계단에 가가라. 날들 배 또아 계디 가더나 자기 집에 따금 주숨디 녀몽비 님버 주고여 버린다. 딜레티네 또아 끼고 디 김선디 또아 끼고 알아. 쳐봤다는 뒤더니 따고 자기 집에 따금 주숨디 땀 년다다 니바쿠디 주려기더니 탑야고 예뭐 통네 또아 끼고 알아.
So
디인들이 직디 날들 바디 개발을 또아래 직디 개발을 또아 말아. 디인들 것은 아니 쳐봤다는 게 따금 주숨라 또아 끼야지 돈라 그래 레로 차고 알아디. 저항 인식이 내려라.
So the important point here is that both the yogi and the superficial practitioner had joy of studying the view, meditation, and the contact of Mahamudra, but somehow the motivation or the way how they get delight in doing so is the yogi takes delight in view, meditation, and contact of Mahamudra because he or she knows that these are the best antidote of their kleshas. If you practice them well, then they can control the klesha. But somehow the superficial practitioner had delight of studying the view, meditation, and contact of Mahamudra, but not in order to subdue or control or destroy his or her klesha, but somehow in order to gain his fame, offering, and then so forth. And then that's the difference. Therefore, here, even this superficial practitioner has delight and put effort of studying the view, meditation, and contact of Mahamudra. But from here, this is not diligence, but this is laziness. Shawa Ngenshi in Tibetan, we says the laziness of being attached to a wrong action.
Oh, Lasa. Today, because Naljur Padang, and it's Chabatanangi, Chagachim Betagum Chusumla, Toaki or Chikwa Inayang, Toaki Suldi, Chabatanang, Sedila Sheba Gimsin Gene Toaki Gore, Naljur Badi, Sedila Shelo Gimsin Gene Toaki Gore.
So both yogi and the practitioner has delight in the view, meditation, and the contact of Mahamudra, but the way how they have delight is different. Because the yogi has delight based on the renunciation or renouncing of this life, but somehow the superficial practitioner has delight based on the attachment of this life. So this is a difference between them.
Oh, today because of the Naljur Betuadi, Gavalatoare, Chebatanang Gitori, Dibalatoare, the Chebatanang Gitori, Lelore, Naljur Betuadi, Sundure. So
therefore, the delight that yogi is taking here is taking delight in the virtue, and the delight that superficial practitioner is taking here is delight to non-virtue. Therefore, the delight that yogi is taking is what we call diligence here, and the delight that superficial practitioner is taking here we call laziness.
Oh, last today in the Naljur Bay. Any Naljur body, Naljur body, or Naljur bay 20 준비기 따라 신그래 될라 되네더니 그래 연구를 탈비 사람 저그래 성대.
So therefore, the yogi will ride on the horse of diligence and he traverses the path of liberation. That's what Milarepa said here in this song.
네 준비라 나절 받이 남양 대화래서 탈바톱 탐정kim바 톱도그라. 이단 남양 대화래서.
Then, of course, as a result of that, he is always happy. He or she is always happy because he or she will achieve liberation and omniscience.
알았어. 다 쳐봤다는데 아니 난서 자기가 준비 따고 이제 같이 되지 세들의 심바 김선지 전에들이 좋아하게 여당 될 배도 지그래디 이내양 디 레로레 순지 말에 레로레 디는데네 될라데네 디바 필기래 디바 필기 거래 등도 지그래 성다. 거래 등도 지그래서 거래를 팀이하게 기지그래 성래.
So the superficial practitioner, even he or she studies view, meditation, and contact of Mahamudra, but somehow he or she is doing this based on attachment for this life. Therefore, whatever he do, as the song says, the practitioner who enter the shackles of laziness, then the foundation stone of samsara. So all he can accomplish is the foundation stone of samsara, which means he will go deeper samsara. And this kind of practitioner is always miserable. This is how it is taught. Now I'm going to move the 10th, the distinguishing happiness and from suffering. And the root text says, the yogi who cuts the imputations of hearing and contemplating and watches the show of mind is always happy. The practitioner who accepts the Dharma but always engages in negative conduct is always miserable.
아니 최념린 제와를 직바이네요. 카치대기 원기 념린 제야든 칸낭데 낭두되는 념린 제야기 개발이요래. 다 이 개발되는 세들의 심발로 받은 세들의 심배 원도성의 개발을 해.
So actually it's same. The difference between yogi and superficial practitioner is someone who is practicing Mahamudra, view, meditation, and contact directed inward, and then someone who is practicing them directed outward. And then another is the yogi is practicing them based on the renunciation from samsara, and the superficial practitioner is practicing them based on the attachment of this life.
아니 레렌 탐제 녀몽로 투버시 아니 디디 치기 고바 탐제 녀몽들로 코나인 바시베 나저바디 거리지그레라나더니 오 랑드르기 네데베 송랍라 되니 퇴섬 도도체바 제그레.
So here the yogi who understands that all the shortcoming of this life comes from the klesha, and then all the purpose of Dharma practice is the taming the klesha or mind. Then he or she will go through the study and the contemplation thoroughly on the Dharma until he cuts the imputation of hearing and contemplating.
데르베드니 도도체베 최섬기 도도체베드니 니셰당 따와디기 ini 카치데도 마상하지 ini 칸낭도로네 랑기심 멜롱타와나시타 그랬습니다.
And then after having this wisdom from studying and contemplating, then this yogi will practice not directed outward but directed inward, just like example given looking into mirror.
드네 인자드니 간도 코르데길랑 대도길랑도 콘데길랑도 아니 녀몽당 이식길랑도 대상마 생기등도 제기를 해서 그래. 7월 6일 등도 제기 말했어.
then this yogi will practice of what is giving up and what is practice of the samsara and nirvana, happiness and suffering, everything based on his or her mind, not based relating to the outer object.
Olas. Tindegi neljer badi dine chedila inayang nedang thamjal nekap thamjal kibore. Ini kewachima penchelayang nabakundu kibo dewa basing ngreso.
And this kind of yogi will always have happy in this life, and from starting from the next life, all the future life will also be very happy.
Olas. Di dokcho chebatanang sedele simbe wangdo song chage chimbe tagum jusum ginyamnen ka chidegi chidesu jene jebe any chebatanang di garjigre elana kelin chulaje cholam dilaje gre.
And then opposite of that, the superficial practitioner who have studied the view, meditation, and conduct of Mahamudra, but practice directed in outwardly, then Milarepa says the practitioner who accepts the Dharma but always engages in negative conduct.
Ola, ta kelin chulaje cholam dilaje soyadi. Tene ka chidegi ene nyamne jingi chebadila tene gedik langdor de to marwa se digi dedur dang se digi tene dedur nigi ken langdor je de sora.
So what it means, practitioner who accept the Dharma but always engage in negative conduct is because the superficial practitioner, whatever he do, is not actually to avoid or to purify negativities and to accumulate virtues, but actually whatever he do is to gain the well-being of this life, such as fame, wealth, and then the praises and so forth.
Na dene chebadi gore kelin chulaje se de so pena ngado gelong domba shunayang o gelong se de so de mi thangwa gi te so gushap jesa dang de ine te so de gola sha go ya dang o de do de ne ba kurdi la ko duje to song di gelong se ming di thok go ra kala ma di de gelong domba de kelin gre ine songje de song mare.
So what it means when we say accept the Dharma, actually, I have little concern of this translation, because if I am the translation, I would say take commitment in the Dharma. In Tibetan, it says chula kelen sheba, means kelen chula, take commitment in Dharma. But anyway, just let me explain this one. Who accept the Dharma? What it means is that those people who take all the commitment in Dharma, such as you are taking the fully ordained vows, which we call bhikshu, because in the sutra, in the tradition, if you are bhikshu vow, then you will get more honor, more offering, and more wealth. So with the focus of this, if you take the fully ordained vow, bhikshu vow, but you don't really, even you take them just for this life, because you want to be honored more, you want to get more offering and so forth, but you are not really practicing according to this vow.
Dina shi dinga de janju simbe damba ya shugure ga sa janju simba se ming di thok gora. Dine mi thangwa gi janju simba se de te so da ne gushap jisa gi yul dang de ne nyeba kudi duye gi yul da thong de go janju simbe damba de yang to da ma ba ke gi ra. Din janju simba damba shugure hine janju simbe songja song mare. Dina shi nga gi damba ya ra. Dine nga gi najur ba se de dile gi dine senyara chambra. Din de senyara la dawo yo de go de gimje jene nga gi damba yang keleng ra. 이내 송구마라 담지 송구마라 드네진도 가서 켈린 첼레지 줄럼 들려지 그래서.
So that is what it means when we say practitioner who accept the Dharma but always engage in negative conduct. Is again not only this Pratimoksha vow, and also those people like to take the Bodhisattva vow again, because they think that Bodhisattva vow is superior, and then if you take the Bodhisattva vow, people will think you become superior person, and you will get more gain, more offering, and so forth. And on top of that, again, you have the delight of taking all those vows, the higher and higher until the Vajrayana vow, and then then because the reason why you are taking is if you have this vow of fully ordained monk, bhikshu, bodhisattva, and vajrayana, the mantrayana vow, then you think that you become a better object to whom people will make more offering. That's then you don't practice, and that's what it means. Who accept the dharma but always engages in negative conduct.
Oh, that's did it chebadi said that someone did the number to dungal bashing younger.
And this kind of practitioner in this life and in next life, in everywhere, always be miserable.
다 내도 신지 찌찌거디 진짜로 찍로나 그래도 태섬 전에 뉴모 근처에 매베 너저 남양데 나타 밀라진의 무슨 투주 제베 쳐받는면도 어서.
And the 11 verses of distinguishing happiness from suffering is the yogi who cuts through hopes, fears, and doubt and continually rests in the innate state is always happy. The practitioner who gives his leash to other people, trying to please and be harmonious, is always miserable.
Oh, that's the natural chebe keber shibare that chigbare dene natural bas the gosu dene lelen tamje dangji chibula tuba she any che nimningi goba tamje dangjin dulwa khona yimba shene dene khan nangde dede any chage chebe tawa gomba choba sumla nimnin nangkingi natural body any digi dumrela gare yongorasana dene chegi tawi nelula dene 도도다 최선 쳐가지 연구를 해서.
Then again, Sam, he's still teaching us the difference between the yogi and the superficial practitioner. And then those who understood all the shortcoming or blame are on the self-clinging, fixation on self, and also understanding that the only purpose of practicing all dharma is to tame our mind, and then practice view, meditation, and conduct of Mahamudra will cut through hopes, fears, and doubts, and continually rest in the innate state.
딘데게드니 뭐부시기 내룰라 도도 chebe dodo tetum chebe najur badi karichage dilamna redo dan dalgire esla redo dan dalgire sedi any dinde najur badila korwa dan nyangde nisu thong mare korwa jedumilare besonasi korwa shendu pangdume nyangde shenne jubdume rangsen sangge sulata che songra dinde dine semgi nelula nelugi ngona dene korwa ye manyore korwa ching manyore any tongbe dol manyore dinde dine nyangdegi yenden hlutubde yore 크로와시 any 시스템을 바래 디인지 크로와시 진도 방야 여말에 냥대 신의 주도 여말에 성래 디인자데니 크로와라 크로기를 선배 동박고 말에 any 냥대 토고를 선배 레와 고고 말에 그래도 달도 그래서.
So those people, those practitioners who is free of doubt about the ultimate nature of Dharma Dhatu, is free of hopes and fears because he has no fear of samsara and he has no hopes of nirvana. As Milarepa sang, he said, there is no samsara to be shunned and there is no nirvana to be attained or achieved. What he means is, from the ultimate point of view, nirvana has always been there with full qualities, and samsara has never taken any root. And therefore, there is no samsara to be shunned, and there is no nirvana to be achieved, and then therefore this kind of yogi will become free of hopes and fears and doubt, and then he will always rest in the innate state.
Oh, las tienda digi dumde digla tenedni nyuma ginche meba nyuma simgi nelu chage chimbu ngangla any nyambar sabwa gin michaba yongure es.
And therefore, he or she will continually rest in the inner state without any interruption. And this kind of yogi will always experience happiness in this life, in next life, and all the time.
Kurangi dubjato di sedi debarwa tamnyanda nyebakurdi di indikaso dini dile sinjayo tamnyanda nyebakurdi di chirogi gangsa senda ngobo sendala ralegira di indikaso di nabakundu rangi rawang rangi nata di mi la bola shorgre esoneda tanda rangi rawang di mi la shorgre esoneda.
And then opposite of that, which we call the superficial practitioner, because his or her main goal is to gain something for this life, such as like fame, wealth, and praise, and so forth. Therefore, and all these things, what we call fame, wealth, depends on the other. Therefore, he will be always under the power of other. And then Milarepa saying in here, he says, practitioner who gives his leash. Leash means we usually call the, if we translate literally, natak is the nose robe. There's a robe on the nose, you know. So if you give that rose to other, and because whatever you want to accomplish depends on the outer environment, other people, therefore you will become under the control of others.
All us, rangi rawang mila shotogre. Then rangi rawang mila shoto inda dine dida nabakundu nosung dang tunju jegwa chagre esoneda.
And therefore, you always have to try to please others and try to be in harmonious with others.
Tinde jide gosa tinde rangla rawang tsana yamare. Tinde chibadi tinde rawang medi digwa panya la rawang yamare. Gewa dubya la rawang yamare. Tinde inda tinde digwa nyam, gewa nyam, digwa pel. Tinde jide gosa tse dila dungal, gewa chimal na dungal yamgores.
And therefore, this kind of practitioner has no option or no choice for him or herself, because everything depends on other. Therefore, he or she has no option, no choice to practice Dharma well. And then naturally, he will accumulate lots of negative karmas, he or she. Then therefore, as a result of that, he or she will be miserable in this life and the life in the future, in the next life.
Olas, da digidni, da dewa, da samadedni, dewa mado dungal midu, jigu gyabdu kyurni, tado hachu jibe naljur namyangdes.
And we have one more line which shows us only the good one and only the happy, and there is no the line for the miserable. And then this line reads, the yogi who leaves everything behind and practice the sublime dharma is always happy.
Olas, di karla gangida dedu senje chuchik sungsong. Dedu senje chuchik badi any naljur bada chebatanangi kebardi, then gawani chungre esra di sangwagi domdi di insarada.
So this so far Milarepa has taught us the 11 verses of distinguishing happiness from suffering, and this last word actually include the essential point, essential meaning of all of them.
The chebatanang naljur be kebarzo de garane, jigu gyabdu girwadang, jigu dangdulawani di kebarra. Because jigu sanada, penangaras jigdin chigi, because jigdin chigela, tunjoshi the mitunjoshi. Pena dewa dan nyeba dewa tam nyeba teba sumdi ngansula goyedera di dokcho shidi ngansula mugoyedera di jigdimbi samsura teni jigdimbi samsul di go dosona teni ngansu jigdimbi goyegi teni dewa dan nyeba dan tam nyeba dan teba di samji gyabdu gyur dila sembabang jigdimbi mugoyejera teni minyemba, manyeba, dungal, 미대와 둥알당 미니바당 땀 미년바당 매바여라 디 당도랑 겐드셔 어디 그래서 직진박이 아니 빵랑데 고도는 제서나 지구 겹도 둥알 겐드셔나 디드니 쳐반남다 사그래 손에다 관계 대두 신제 나네더니 되니 날들 바사 그래 디 독초제나 디 직진 바사 그래 손에다 쳐바다나 사그래 손에
So the concise and the initial meaning of all these verses of distinguishing happiness from suffering, here Milarepa, when he said the yogi who leaves everything behind and practices the sublime dharma is always happy, is that everything leaves behind means mainly talking about the what we call the eight worldly concern again. Four of which usually the worldly people want, and four of which usually the worldly people don't want. And then if you want to be a yogi who is always happy, then you have to do the opposite thing. You have to leave all of them, all four of them, that which usually the worldly people think good, and you have to accept all four of them that usually the worldly people think not good. For example, the four good thing is happiness, and then gaining, and then phrases, and then pleasing, hearing, pleasing, and so forth. And then opposite of that is that usually, if somebody criticizes you, you don't like that, and then so forth. The opposite, and then not gaining what you want, and so forth. That is what the worldly people think they don't want. But to be a genuine practitioner, a happy yogi, then you have to accept all of them. Then if you become someone who is able to do that way, then you become happy yogi.
올라서 다 되게 되네 대두 현재 게드네 고르디 돌디지 살성한서 뒤에서
So I
되네
think
나서
so I think I have completed a concise explanation of this song of distinguishing happiness from suffering, and actually our time is also done now.
드네 다 지당 지등기 고르디 빼면서 서버 차게 준비다 다금 조금 걸을 시기도 인자드니 뒤에 동동제 애니 먼저 애니 거스고로 되게다 다금 조금 사무들라다 냠뇽야 시라 매바제 인자드니 카세버지 시라 셰투마서 희내양다 담미체라 동제 뜻 수거디 정글르드 대해서 원하시더니 먼저 문이 라린제 맡음나양 대라 동제 뜻 수나양 되네 마음발랑아서 사면녀들은 제약이 손음 가신 버서 그래서 그래 데려베더니 손음산에 마음발라 왕는도 귤 그래서 또 되게 되네 텐들 주베라와요.
So actually the song of Milarepa about this the view meditation and Mahamudra is extremely profound and vast, and since I have no much experiences about this, I could not explain in a very extensive way, and also we have no much time to go through extensively. Therefore, all I have done is a very concise way of explaining it. But somehow, as Jambu Kontu said, Jambu Lodro said that even if we cannot go through thoroughly, just to have some idea about it also will make lots of merit for us. Therefore, I hope what we have done during this weekend will make an auspicious connection for all of us to go through and fully realize this profound song in the future.
라스더니 나바도 상마라 투변스베라예 되네 델라다 나라더니 최시하게 고급 나와되더니 빼면서 거스요 된 상마라 되네 나바도 상마라 투지제식이
and I hope somehow it will be some benefit to all of you, And I'm very happy to have had this opportunity to explain this profound Dharma. And therefore, I would like to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Last this
So since our time is finished, I'm not going to continue and Tashi Dele everyone. Now our KDG Abbot Khenpo Organla would like to say a few words before we do the dedication.
Drupon Khenpo Lodro Namgyal
On behalf of KDD, I would like to say thank you to you, Drupon Khenpo Rinpoche, for giving us such a profound and vast Dharma teaching.
And
also in future too, please from time to time give us opportunity to receive teaching from you. And eventually, I hope and I pray that one day you will physically present in KDD and give teaching us.
And
please keep in your mind what I have just requested to you. Okay, now our KDD Abbot is done. Now it's my turn. Okay, this this is from myself. Okay, these teachings are really, really very profound, and also they are very profound word, not only meaning also. Therefore, even though the Drupon Khenpo Rinpoche has explained in a wonderful, most wonderful way, but somehow, as you know, my English is very limited. Therefore, I might have made lots of mistakes here and there. So please accept my apology and forgive me. Now we are going to do dedication prayer. Sonam de Tamje Sepa Tone Be Rana Pamje Dega Naje Palay Trubai Sebe Zole Ro Sho Jambal Bawa Chizai Kepat Kunto Sambo Teyan Techind Tedai Kunye Jesuan Dalabji Yawan Deda Tamje Ramdo Mo Sangye Guzai Nyebe Chela Dan Chenye Pengye Debe Chela Yende Mejen Debe Chela Cheda Moa Ruba Joy Gina Dewa Sozo Hende Namkai Kamrai Dona Donga Dagi Korwa Donga Ye Janso Dong Borai Jo Benza Sado Samaya Manipalaya Benza Sado Tanaba Dira Dido Mego Sudoka Map Subika Mebo Adar the Map. So the Medea does Sawakama, the Mezidam Shia, Korohon, Ha, Boga, Sawada, Gadam, Bedama, members of Badrebo, Mahasamaya Sado. Lasso to bring Khenpo with the cutting chair. Mamba Kekachina, the name is the yard, so in the la. Lasso, Lasso, Lasso,